it's an odd feeling. I don't think it's quite settled in yet, but yeah, first came here 2008. I was offered a contract by Graham Dorr, and yeah, I've loved the club since then. I've done those 9 years in 3 different spells, but yeah, since I came back that last time, I'd say that this is my club. It's always had a strong place in my heart, and it's going to be a real strange feeling on Saturday when I put that jersey on for the last time.
Just talk us through the last couple of years, this season in particular, because there's been such a different feel. Is that fair to say about the club, just in terms of the improvements that we've made this season? We've jumped from 11th last season to potentially 4th this campaign. It must have been amazing to have been a part of that.
Yeah, I think everyone knows our struggles last year, but I think what we took from last season was definitely as a squad, we had to get tight and we really did bond. I think when you're going away with 5 front rowers starting in the pack and then 2 on the bench, Luke Chapman coming on to replace Alex Duck on a wing away at Leeds last season, I think things like that do make you stronger, and I think that put us in good stead for this season. We had a tough pre-season but a good pre-season, and yeah, certainly finishing potentially 4th, but looks like 5th or 6th is way more than we expected at the start of the year, coming off the back of what we did last year. But it's a great feeling around the club, as I say. I think that's what makes it even harder to be leaving. Good bunch of boys, some really good coaches in as well, and speaking to Max and Lammy, where the club's looking to go again next year, it's almost like the hardest time to say goodbye, but certainly the right time for me.
What kind of made that decision for you? Can you kind of put your finger on?
I think there's only so many times you can be asked if you're injured by the way you walk, and you're just like, no, this is just the way I walk now. Yeah, it's I don't know. I still haven't got my head around it, but I wanted to go out on my terms. I know lots of people have had to retire from rugby through injury or for other reasons. I wanted to go out while I still thought that I deserved my place in the squad, playing some good rugby, and this seemed like as good a time as ever. The body's not getting any younger. As much as I feel good in training, on match days, it's certainly taken its toll during the week. And yeah, the body is starting to tell me that this is about the right time to step away.
And just more about this bond between the players, past and present. It's always felt like a pretty together squad. Yeah,
fantastic. I think the first time I was back here with some of the characters that were in the squad then, they probably shaped me when I was a young player, coming up from Cornwall, Penzance, Mounts Bay. Some of the players I met when I was first here in that environment was fantastic. But I think my last spell at the club, when I came back, and the likes of Dan Williams, Kieran Hallett, when they were around, and now, yeah, I've made some friends for life. Pulley, Herbie, George Mills, those types of people have really become true friends. And as you say, throughout my 9 years at the club, I've made some great friends who I hope I'll stay friends with for the rest of my life.
Have you got, it's quite a difficult one to think of on the spot, but have you got like a favourite memory from your Albion career?
A favourite memory, one that sticks in the head, definitely not a favourite, but doing a scrummage session in my first time here, Graham Dorr decided that we'd know if we were tight enough on the scrummage machine if he marched up and down our backs with his studs on. I think the season when we went unbeaten from Christmas, I think that team that we had there and just the team spirit every week going out onto the pitch was something that really stuck in our heads. But also, again, last season, digging out some of those victories and 2 points away at Leeds, as I say, with a squad of 17, 7 of those front row forwards, it's hard to really put one down. But I think beating Richmond away without any coaches was certainly one that stuck in the memory. Last play of the game, I think Josh Scalesy went in the corner, and that's certainly one that will live with me for a long time.
You had the captaincy as well last week against Leeds, a really good win, of course. Must have been a special feeling, knowing, of course, that you were about to head out. Yeah,
I think any time you captain a side's a special feeling. But yeah, particularly leading this group of boys last week in my last away game up at Leeds, it did mean a lot. Meant a lot for me. My dad was there watching as well, because he lives up in Yorkshire. So yeah, it was a really proud moment, but also it wouldn't have really meant as much if we hadn't got the win. and the way the boys dug in that second half, and we played as we know we can. Yeah, it made the day even more special.
And that's kind of symbolic. It kind of comes back to what we spoke about at the top, symbolic of how we've been this season, really, from the first game against Cambridge when we that battling performance to take a couple of points back home from there. It's been that sort of battling spirit all season, really. Yeah,
I think we really have developed, and it is that never die attitude. We don't like to lose, and we've had a couple of narrow ones. There's certainly a couple that stick in the head as well, where we know we haven't performed and we've lost games that we shouldn't have lost. But we're certainly a side that's developing, and I think that's given us. We haven't got a massive squad still, so we really do fight for each other every time we go out on that pitch, and the beer certainly tastes better on a win anyway, so I think that's what we fight for.
Possible as well that we could get fourth this weekend. How great would it be to go out with a top four finish?
Yeah, for me, I don't try not to look at the league table too much. There's lots of other clubs which can impact on where we're going to finish. The important thing for me is that we put in a massive performance at home against Cambridge, who are a team fighting. I think they can still get promoted, so we know we're up for a big battle on Saturday. So for me, it's get the job done on the pitch on Saturday with as many points as we can. Obviously, we'll be hoping for 5, but Cambridge are coming firing. They've got everything to play for. So yeah, do what we can do, and then wherever we finish, as I say, it's a massive improvement from last year. So yeah, the boys are going to be chuffed, whether that's 4th or 5th. But
just lastly, a big crowd expected this weekend. The fans at Brickfield's always driving you forwards, always driving you over that try line. Just a message for them before you go.
Yeah, it's not just at Brickfields. I think we have a crowd, supporters that follow us all around the country. There's some up there at Leeds, Darlington. Every year I've been at Albion, the fans have really got behind us, and it does mean a lot. So yeah, a packed out Brickfields on Saturday will be special. Running out in front of them for that one last time is really going to help. Yeah.